Good,
And how are we?
Morning.
mate. In the swag, it's too cold to get outside.
Mate, how cold is it?
Oh, it's freezing at about 1 degree, so I'm staying in the swag.
Look at that, mate. I feel like we're on MTV Cribs with you, Ian.
Yeah.
Andy, Adzi, Bretto,
Right.
George.
Oh,
How's the week been, gentlemen?
Right.
Not bad, mate.
Yeah, it's good. It's awesome watching people's TED Talks.
Man, they're awesome, aren't they?
Bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
A lot of activity on the site too. It was a bit quiet for a few weeks, but it's good to see a lot of different blokes getting in and posting stuff, and the TED Talks have really ramped it up as well. So it's been ace. Running about everyone.
100%. Like I just jumped onto Circle, then I already had, I think I have 46 notifications or something. That's from yesterday afternoon.
I'm loving Roscoe's nutritional articles as well.
The daily tips, how good are they?
And he talked about that in the workshop, and it's been brilliant to see him posting every day. And I'm really informative. He writes a really good stuff. Great.
You're cutting out a bit there, Bretto. It's going a bit quiet.
Oh, sorry, mate. I was just saying with Roscoe's posts, he committed to that in the workshop.
Yep.
He said he was going to post more on the site, and it's been brilliant to see him doing that, and the insights that he's giving us, and the information, and his writing style. It's all really enjoyable to read.
Yeah, bloody oath.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, Andy, did you just go over the Story Bridge, mate?
I did, mate. Yeah.
What a way to start the day.
Yep. Normally I stop in at Joey's up there to get a coffee, but I missed the turn. I couldn't get a park. I'm like, oh, fuck it.
Mate, not a bad spot to get a coffee, though.
Nah, man. Every morning, good view.
Oh,
Who we got? Thomas, Spencer's on, Jesse, Jace. Morning. How's everyone?
they're good, yes.
Spencer, my man. Jumping around. Spencer's probably on here for the same reason as me this week, because the cat's got a fucking toweling last week and we need to talk about it. What's that?
We weren't even at VFL level.
No, mate, I wouldn't even say you're at Queensland AFL level.
Mate, we were probably more like under 14s Aspley or something.
That's still being generous.
Go the Pies.
All right, Joey, cool you there, bro. Enough out of you.
2022 is our year.
I don't think Collingwood can spell finals.
No, mate, we just play them.
Oh, fuck.
10 out of 10. Cool, bro. You had to do it twice just to win it, mate.
Makes it more meaningful that way, mate.
Yeah, that's true.
Disappointing it wasn't a good second game that time.
2002 and 2003.
Might have to jump on the Lions bandwagon now. Morning, Gareth.
Hey, mate. How are we?
Good, mate. Good. All right, gents, let's dive into it. If anyone else jumps on, I'll just throw them in groups randomly. But today, what we want to discuss, and it's going to be an open discussion, I'll put the 3 questions. So obviously, how's your game plan going? I've got 1 week left, which is awesome, before starting a new one. How you're finding the book, High Performance Habits, or what's one thing you've taken away from it based on where you're up to? And then the final question was, I think it was around regrets. Yeah, do you have any life regrets? If so, what and why? Okay. And if you don't, fucking perfect. The questions are there, gents. We'll break up. How many we got? 16. We'll put you in groups of 3 to 4. And then we'll come back. We're going to be talking about, which came off the back of George's TED Talk. And thanks for everyone who's posted their TED Talk so far. for those who jumped on just recently, we were talking about how good they are. It's awesome to see like random topics about people and how well you speak and how confident you are. So we have 5 rooms. All right, gents, we'll see you back in 20 minutes. Andy's out in the sunlight.
Yeah, man.
Is that my virtual background, Lockie?
Yeah, your virtual background looks awesome.
It's Brisbane River.
Looks like my scoot on the way to work in the morning. And I'm cutting down across the top of Fallons.
It's my work with a little red dog in the corner. So it's a work one, so I can have it full background when I'm at work.
Hang on. Well, gents, did everyone get through those questions and discussions? Or midway through it? Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Roscoe, mate, a lot of the boys are loving your daily tips around food and nutrition. So if you can keep that going for 365 days, that'd be unreal.
I've got at least 60 odd for you, so I'll keep them coming.
Perfect. I like it. Jen, so I wanted to have a quick discussion for 2 things around you guys that we can do collectively, and then we'll dive over to that self-doubt, which came off the back of George's TED Talk. And if you haven't done your TED Talk yet, keep them uploading because I'm enjoying watching them. They're good value. But the first one is November's coming up. Obviously, all of us aren't in the same place. I was thinking about things that we could all do collectively as the Man That Can project to raise awareness. Like previously, I've done 12-hour fitness challenges. There's a push-up challenge where you do push-ups every day for the month. I've thought about doing a certain number of burpees a day. I've thought about every day maybe trying to run, ride, row, or walk or whatever 5 kilometers. Something that like obviously boosts your health and your mental health. Does anyone have any ideas, or if you guys want to be part of it as well?
Any of those sound good to me.
Yeah.
So sorry to throw you on the spot.
I just can't actually do November because the missus will leave, mate, if I shave the beard off. So, I can't take.
Mate, maybe you can jump on the call with just like white out over here and here. Mate, mine already looks like it's going to a mo just because I've got so many greys here. So no matter how well I groom it, it just looks like a mo. But mate, you can just support. You can be the rally.
I'm well up. We did the push-up one. Was it last year?
Yeah.
That was good, mate.
I like to push up one, Lockie.
Yep.
You can do it anyway.
Top Blokes has got a fundraiser running at the moment. I think it's Lift for Mental Health or something like that. You got to put on a 10-kilo pack, you register for it, and then you run with it.
Yeah.
And do a fundraiser for that. No, if that's something you might want to.
Brutal and beautiful. Who here doesn't own a weight vest? That's the only challenge. Yeah.
Oh, they send it to you once you join up, like.
Oh, really? And is that for November?
No, that's for so Top Blokes for young men.
Yep.
And mental health.
Yep.
They're online. Check them out.
Bless you, Jesse.
Gents, what I'll do, I'll post a thing in the thread. But if you guys have any thoughts or ideas, like obviously the intention is thanks Phil, I got it up here as well. If you guys have any thoughts or something, obviously the 2 things are raising awareness around. And Movember, is not just mental health, it's men's health in general. So it can be prostate cancer, a whole heap of health issues. But also then what can we do something, whether we look to run like a one-off virtual event, even if you give me ideas, I can organize it. Whether it's a one-off virtual event where one day we all are on Zoom doing a 5K walk or something, having a yarn, we put in breakout rooms or something like that. Or it might be every day for the month, we're committed to doing 5K, whether it's walk, run, ride, handstand walk, row, whatever it looks like. But that way it's, raising awareness and you're raising funds for your commitment. And it's also putting us out of our comfort zone, doing something that maybe you normally wouldn't do. Okay, so I'll post something in the like a group where we can start a thread, and for anyone who has ideas or anything like that, jot it down, and then I'll sort of make a decision in a week or two, and then for those who want to get involved with it, we can get involved with it collectively. Secondly, you would have seen I posted, or maybe not everyone has seen it yet, but I put in there like the impact numbers for what we as a collective, because I think the most important thing is like it's got to a point where the Man That Can project's not my project anymore, it's our project, and the more the bigger it gets, the more everything that how we conduct ourselves and the conversations that you have, the work that you guys are doing is creates a ripple effect for other people. And obviously being based in the men's health space, one of my things when I was talking with my coach yesterday was like, well, he's like, you guys don't even have a goal like around numbers. I was like, well, I just enjoyed doing shit daily. He's like, we'll get a number at least. It's like every other goal. And over the course of the last 4 years, we've done about 1,200 people through men's circles, events, etc. Obviously, over the podcast, we've all collectively, and so those who have been on it, and those of you who will be on it, it's reached over 250,000 people. So I'm taking the podcast numbers out of it because I want it to be like direct contact sort of stuff, through either conversations that you guys are having, or I'm having, or members that are joining, whether it's Strongmen of Value or even just the free Facebook group. But I put it out there, some of you guys said over 15,000, but it'd be cool to sort of agree on a number that we can all work towards, whether it's conversations in our day-to-day life, etc. Who thinks 5,000 is a achievable number?
Well, how many members we got in the group?
Got 1,000 in the group. We've already had over 1,200 go through events and workshops over the last 4 years.
So the group, when you say it's 1,000, the group, is that the Man That Can?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just $5 each.
Hey.
Like $5 each will do.
Yeah. For November, yeah. What about? I'm talking about from an impact. No, so this is separate to November. Sorry. In terms of impact, so like a lot of companies like we're going to impact 1 billion people or 100,000 people or whatever, which is fine. But I've also sat down and worked out logically what seems achievable, and I think 100,000 people is not possible if you're doing it right, in my opinion, unless somehow we become superhuman and don't sleep and all we do is talk to people and change their lives, which I also think I want to have a life, and I'm sure you guys also have a life. So that's why for me, I threw out those 3 suggestions of either 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, because it's still a bucket load of work. But collectively, as we continue to grow and more of us are wanting to make a difference on people, it can be a number.
Have you got a duration for time on that one?
2030, so that's 9 years.
Yeah.
9 years.
9 years. Well, surely you'd be able to do more than 5 in 9 years.
Yeah.
Sure.
Lockie, have you tracked your growth? Have you got like the data that you've looked at in terms of the growth in the membership numbers?
Yeah, 100%. I've got all of it, and that's why from paid members, we've had over 1,200. From just members, a part of the Facebook group's about to tick over 1,000, and we started the Facebook group 18 months ago or just before COVID. And then the podcast has gone from fucking doing 1,000 every 2 months to over 25,000 a month. So there's significant growth. But my goal with the number is actual impact, not just someone listening to a podcast or anything. It's all of us collectively having a conversation that might be the one thing that changes someone's life. Or, Roscoe, you posting your tips to people that, even in the free Facebook group, that might help someone, look at nutrition differently. Because we're all experts in something that, each other aren't, right? And it's more about empowering us as a collective to do that in our daily life, which you guys are already, but it's just working towards a number. But anyway,
Lockie, I was just saying, that Scotty Martin, that bloke that you did the podcast with the other day.
Yeah,
I was chatting to him yesterday. I think that especially with COVID and things like that, there's a lot more awareness now, and it's a real growth thing. Blokes looking after themselves now. It's not like it was like, as you know, I'm 56. So when I was in my 20s, no one talked about mental health. It was a taboo subject amongst blokes. And I think there's a lot more awareness now, and that potentially could increase. Just through word of mouth alone can increase dramatically, I reckon.
Yeah, and it's also looking above. Like, obviously, we got the 8 areas, and use Spence as an example from 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when we spoke about money. Like, there's. I look at our community as like a performance-based community where we're improving areas of our life, from mental health to finances to communication to mateship to love, like all those things, because they're all connected. And so, like I said, like you guys, like Ian, the way you live your life is very inspiring. Like, you're always on an adventure somewhere. You've probably had more adventures in the last 3 months than I've had in the last 10 years. It's incredible. And some of you are gurus with money and relationships, with your health, with all that sort of stuff. So it's really collectively growing us as a whole. But anyway, we won't spend too much time on that. There's a thread started in Circle there. So if you have a think about it, and even if it's none of those numbers, you might think less or more, just because I want to get something that we can all collectively aim towards as well. Because it's like, well, from these action steps, last week's task was a TED talk. Get out there and, inspire yourself through improving your communication, talking about something that you're passionate about. While you did that in here, that might improve your communication outside, which is now we're giving you tasks and things that can help upskill you to make you a better bloke out in the real world. Make sense?
Yep.
This week's task is going to be something as well that will be challenging for you should you choose to want to do it, but it'll also be beneficial for your health, beneficial and inspiring for other people watching you, right? And I'll tell you that shortly. So all of that's going to contribute to you guys inspiring other people. And not saying you guys aren't at the moment, or myself, but it's more like, well, while we're living our life, let's be more intentional with how many blokes we can help. TED Talks were fucking awesome. Like I said, I've really thoroughly enjoyed watching them. Some of the topics, like, I would never have expected to even hear about. So that for me is fascinating, as I'm sure it is for you guys. November we've spoken about. Let's discuss self-doubt quickly. So this is off the back of George's TED Talk, where it comes over him. For hands up here if you experience self-doubt still. Yeah, now that we got 100% success rate there, gentlemen, which is perfect because it's normal. And Joey's put the cam back on. Self-doubt, much like self-confidence, guys, is something that I think we're always going to continue to experience, right? And it can, hold us back and lead us to not taking action on certain things that maybe we want to, or maybe we feel we need to. But, if you want to put in the group chat, if over the last week, something that you've experienced doubt in. See you, Andy. If you want to put in the chat, gents, is anything you've doubted yourself over in the last week or even month, if it's not been in the last week. And Joey, Joseph, you don't have to, mate, while you're running. I'd rather you just focus on running, because Tommy did trip and crack his Apple Watch the other week.
Yeah. Learned that men can't multitask.
And I learned that a long time ago. So what have you experienced self-doubt around? Throw it in the group chat. Bredo, enjoy the 12 rounds, mate.
Good, Bredo.
Oh, I don't know about enjoy, mate.
We'll get through it.
It'll be a heck of a challenge, though. But yeah, that sort of thing, putting myself in the ring with someone who can really bang for 12 rounds. It's like, I know.
You're on mute, Bretto.
Sorry, man. Just gonna say, yeah, it's I know I can do it, physically possible, but there's always that little voice in the back of your head that says, "What the heck are you doing, sunshine?"
Oi, Bretto, there's a really good podcast I'll send you with Joe Rogan and Andrew Huberman, who's a scientist, and they're doing a heap of testing. You know how boxers put ice packs on their fucking neck and stuff? It's really bad for you for like hypothermia and hypothermia. They're testing out a whole new thing with UFC fighters by putting it on your hands, forehead, and feet, like, because that's the place where you release heat from. Whereas when you're putting it on your neck, you feel like you're cooling down, so your hypothalamus starts kicking up heat, so it cooks your insides essentially.
Oh wow!
But they've done studies in the military, and it's showing that like military guys, you know, I think it was with bench dips, they would do like max dips, and it might be 40, and then they'd get down to like 6, 4, and be dead, and not dead, but like cooked. So they're doing this for a minute to 90 seconds on their hands, and their recovery and performance is booming through the roof.
That'd be awesome, brother.
I'll send it up. Really interesting listen. All right, so I'm just going to read these out from everyone, and thanks, Bretto, for sharing. So we got work and exercise, confidence, self-belief, ability to run a successful business, often experience self-doubt at work, and always focus on positive self-talk, work and understanding what success actually means to me. Perfect. I can relate to all of them. And did anyone else relate to all of them? And
yep.
Yeah, I reckon I go through those sorts weekly, if not daily. What else we got, Jace? That I can change and be something better, 100%. And from my own experience, gents, like I think the human emotions is something that we're always going to go through in ebbs and flows, and there's so many factors that can dictate it. I know for myself, if I burn the candles at both ends, I start doubting myself because I don't feel good. Like if I'm lacking sleep, I start questioning my energy. I start then questioning my motivation. Then I start questioning, well, if I'm not motivated to do this, is this what I'm really supposed to be doing? But then I obviously go through my full emotional feedback loop and realize, sleep's off, nutrition's been terrible, I might have been drinking, various other things. So there's more coming through. Always doing things to gain acceptance from others, talking to people I don't know at gatherings, living in the fear of success. Boom. There's some powerful ones there. And gents, with the question and seeing progress in myself, with a lot of this stuff, gents, I think, as I said, the doubt's always going to be there because when you achieve something, we either might experience imposter syndrome or what we just now achieved, we're looking for the next thing. And this is why life, and the best quote, and I can't remember who actually originally said it, but it's like, if you're not growing, you're dying, is such a powerful quote. Because for a long period, for a lot of us, or I know for myself, I wasn't doing any growth. I was just going through the motions and I fucking hated my life. And I didn't like who I was and I didn't feel like I had purpose, etc. It was just that I was trying to escape a lot of stuff. The moment I decided, I'm going to start growing, it's then about energy balance, right? Because you can, growing requires you getting out of your comfort zone. It requires sacrifice. It requires focus. It requires challenging your own beliefs. It maybe requires changing environment, all stuff which consumes energy like nothing else. And when you're consuming energy, right, it's like, for example, you guys doing this first thing in the morning, you might get off and feel empowered, but maybe by 7 o'clock tonight, you're going to feel a little bit mentally fatigued. And so throughout the day, when you've got 12-week game plans, or if you use some other form of diary or planner, it's coming back to, how do you want to think? And obviously I don't want to just sit here and say it's all about how you, positive self-talk and how you think, because while that works well, life still fucking happens, and you could get a flat tire on the way to work and all of a sudden you don't give a shit about positive self-talk. You give a shit about not being late for work and how much it's going to cost you. Right? So when this sort of stuff happens, it's like we shift the focus to growth. Like what you can control in that situation, what you can control in that situation might be, can you change a tire for yourself if you can't jump on YouTube and learn pretty quickly? Or it can be get on the phone and call your employer and let them know what's happened, rather than sitting there going, fuck. Because as with that Viktor Frankl quote, between stimulus and response is a space for how we respond to things, right? And the longer we allow that space between our stimulus and response to be doubt, right? If we leave that to be too long and we don't respond, or let's even say react here, the doubt's gonna continue to grow. Right. And the most important thing with all of this is action. I don't think you can think yourself to a different outcome, but you can, act yourself to a different outcome. Your physiology affects your psychology. So some things to think about it. And I think the first and most important part is normalizing self-doubt and probably embracing the self-doubt. Right? Understanding that you're going to have it. And when you do have it, it's normal. Rather than going, fuck, why am I doing this? I've just been on a 3-week high. I've been ticking all the boxes. I've been doing my morning routine. I've been making progress. Why am I now doubting myself? And much to Jesse's question, I run what I would consider a pretty decent sized company, and I still doubt myself whether I'm the right person for the job all the time. If I have 1 week where it's not growing, I'm like, uh-oh, is the momentum gone? Has my run come to an end? Right, same with the last 2 weeks, because I've been so fatigued from work. I even this week, I've literally not touched my laptop at all, apart from after I saw Michael up at Dysart. Just been sleeping because I'm so burnt, so fatigued. And then for me, I'm like, is my health fucked? Have I lost motivation to do it? This has been me this whole week. But then I get off this call, I'm like, this is exactly what I'm meant to be doing. This is what I love doing. I just need to look after myself a bit more. So it's normalizing it. So when you feel this doubt, it's like, all right, once you accept it, you can change it. You know what we spoke about a few months ago with behavioral change? Obviously, it's not, like I said, I don't want you to just think the power of positive thinking and doing this and that. It's always going to be different. But if you accept it, you can then start the process to change. Secondly, we want to challenge the thoughts, right? Don't just accept what your brain's telling you. So Jesse, the fact that if your brain tells you you can't run a successful business, what else? Let me read some others out. Michael, if you have doubt over whether you're making progress in yourself. Spence, always doing things to gain acceptance. I guarantee you're not always doing things to gain acceptance. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been a cat supporter. Roscoe, for anyone who put down doubt at work, the acceptance around self-doubt or even self-confidence at work is the fact that if you've never done that role or that specific task at work before, you should be doubting yourself, because how the fuck are you supposed to know what it feels like or looks like, the process looks like? What Jace said something as well. And that you can change to be better. So all of these things that I experienced, and I know you guys will experience more than just the ones that you wrote down, but start with this, and let me write a 3-step thing in there that I reckon we focus on. You're going to laugh at the last one, but it works a fucking treat for me. So first one is embrace the self-doubt. Second is challenge the thoughts. So where's the evidence based around it? And it's also challenging the thought to the point of, well, where's my metric? So Michael, when you say seeing progress in yourself, have you given yourself some tangibles, right? So using that game plan, what can you look back and go, well, I've done, for some of you, you might have done 2 or 3 game plans by now. If you keep them stacking there, and you can go back and read what your very first one said and see how far you've come, you've made progress. But I think it's when you're looking for other people to notice in the progress, you've got the wrong, looking for that external validation. Yeah. Thirdly, give it a name. And I took this from Joe Rogan, but through COVID, when I first, because I was still training CrossFit back then, I called mine Colin, which is my middle name, but it's like that inner bitch name, he calls it. But when I'm punishing myself in a workout and part of my brain says, look, your body's overheating, or you need to slow down a bit. You're not going to be able to finish it. I started yelling Colin out in the garage on the rower, and my missus was like, what the fuck is going on in there? But it's fun because then you're just having this disassociated conversation with someone else that's actually in your head, which is Colin, which is my inner bitch voice, as Joe Rogan calls it. I don't see myself as a quitter. I see Colin as a quitter. So give yourself a name, like give it a name. That when that doubt pops up, and you can obviously don't maybe do what I did in public where you're yelling out Colin or whatever your name is, because people might find it a bit weird. But it does work a treat. So when you have that doubt, whenever I have any doubt, it's Colin. Righto. Does anyone have anything they want to throw in the mix around the doubt?
Yeah, my wife talks about this quite a bit, and she calls it her lizard brain. So it's kind of like that part of your brain that's trying to protect you from getting hurt or from failing, or it's kind of like this evolutionary thing where we're designed to protect ourselves. So we just have self-doubt because we know if we try something, we could get hurt, we could fail, or whatever. But if you kind of like try and, like you said, challenge your thoughts and change that, so don't listen to that lizard brain and actually just like listen to your rational brain that you're trying something. You might doubt that you can succeed, but if you don't have a crack, then you're not going to learn, or you're not going to know.
100%.
And that no one else really cares. I think the other thing is that we're worried about what other people are thinking about us, but everyone's thinking about themselves and about their own shit. No one's going to notice if you stuff something up, and you might beat yourself up about it, but no one's going to care. And the only chance you're going to have to develop or to grow or to learn from your mistakes is to, tell Colin to fuck off, basically.
Yes.
The people who do care are going to love you anyway. So
exactly, yeah. The people that do care are going to say, oh, here, here's some advice, or this is what happened to me when I tried this, and they're actually going to try and help you through it. Like everyone else is too self-absorbed in their own neuroses and everything.
So that's great, Roscoe. I love it. Is everyone keen to? Sorry, was someone saying something?
Yeah, sorry. Like I was going to say, I used to worry about what people thought about me and what I'd say and things like that. But one thing I've noticed as I've got older, I thought, no, fuck, I'm really comfortable in my own skin. If I like country music, or I say something stupid, I'm comfortable. I don't. I'm sort of getting over worrying about what other people think. So I think, yeah, that's.
Hey, everyone loves country music, and they say they don't lose line for themselves.
Joey, you took the words out of my mouth, mate. Might have to get a CMC ticket for next year.
But yeah, when you're growing up as a young bloke, when you're growing up, you're a bit different. If you like something different, you get bullied and carried on as a young bloke more.
Yeah.
But I think, oh, fuck it, I love it. That's me. If I want to love that sort of music or do dance or something like that, that's just what I do. That's me.
Unique.
Yeah, unique.
So let's put this into challenge this week then. So let's put you guys in an uncomfortable situation over the next 7 days till next Friday, where you are going to experience moments of self-doubt. You're going to potentially come up with excuses, because I know I will as well. But I'll start a thread, and I look forward to seeing everyone's daily selfie or screenshot that this actually happened. Is if everyone commits to it, obviously after I tell you. I should actually just make a commit before, but every day for the next 7 days, starting from today, is a commitment to yourself to do 5K, right? And depending on how uncomfortable you want to make it, it's run, ride. And if you're doing ride, I mean in the gym, because riding outside on a push 5K will take you like 3 minutes probably. on a bike erg or something, rower or ski erg, or walk. Now, depending on what you feel is going to be challenging for you, for me, I'm going to try ski erg, because that will absolutely bend me over backwards. Because I don't want to do it. I know I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. Because a few things are going to pop up. you're gonna have the excuse of I don't have time today. This is where we get uncomfortable. We make time for it, even if it means sticking out on the latest Netflix episode. It's just 7 days for those who are willing to commit to it. You're probably going to get to day 3 or 4 and your body's going to be aching and you're going to go, oh, I want to have a breather. You're going to doubt your abilities and your commitment. This is where we go, I committed to myself, I'm going to get through it, even if it's not as fast as it was yesterday. And we get to practice it, right? We get to practice the doubt. We get to embrace the doubt that I'm not going to last 7 days or I'm not going to be able to ski for 5K, which is, I'm already doubting that now. You get to challenge your thoughts every time you hop on whatever machine or begin that process. 5 minutes in the sauna. Maybe with me chewing your ear off, Spence. Yeah, 5 minute ice bath even, actually, boys. I'm happy with that for sure.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah. I'd rather do the ski. And give it a name. Like practice that name. So if anyone's at Functional Newstead and sees me yelling out Colin, you know what's happening. But how we hold ourselves accountable, I'll start one thread, which will just be the 5. It'll just say number 5 on it, right? So you guys understand what that means. And every day I want you to, whether you're running and you're tracking it on Strava, or you're walking and you're tracking it on Strava, or whatever you track it on, or if when you finish on your bike or your whatever, take a photo of it, or you can just take a selfie in it, whatever floats your boat, doesn't matter. But we want to see those photos going in. Righto?
So 5Ks a day for 7 days.
Yep.
Wow.
We'll make it 6 because I don't expect you guys to get up at super early and do it before next week's call.
All right, you're on.
And you can change it up if you want. If one day you want to do a 5 minute ice bath, then go for it. And then the other day do a 5K row. But just do whatever you feels you not listening to the inner bitch, as Joe Rogan said. Cool.
Cool.
I'm fucking pumped to see this, boys. Hands up if you're in.
Oh, I'm in.
Why not?
Jesse's got 2 hands up.
Yep, no count. The one I just did was 1.
No, mate.
You gotta
It's
start again
tomorrow.
No, start today.
It starts.
I haven't seen your selfie yet, Joey. So have you even done it, mate?
I'll start.
All
I'll
I saw
start
was
today.
the camera was on black.
That's 2 down already.
All right, boys, shuckers, and let's get amongst it. Have a ripper week, gentlemen, and I look forward to seeing. And boys, if you do feel like you're about to fall off the wagon, reach out to your accountability group and go, boys, I need someone's famous motivational pep talk quickly. Hit me up. Righto. See you, boys. Have a great day.
Yeah.
See you later.
Cheers, Loggy.